past year as Queen has been filled with so many memories, laughs, firsts, and amazing experiences. My adventure as Queen first started last year with the craziness of Fair Week. I kept busy with judging competitions, helping at Lil Farmhand's tent, participating in various events such as the pedal push tractor pulls and the hay bale throwing contest, where I just would like to say that I totally beat Daryl in that, and I was wearing a dress. During the week, I also had the opportunity to be interviewed by the RCN and the morning call. Being Queen gave me so many opportunities to help me gain confidence in my public speaking, such as having a 30-minute interview for RCN Community Spotlight. I had plenty of chances to perfect my Queen wave with the 5 parades I was in, and greeting people at the March of Dimes and the Lehigh Valley Zoo Farm Fest. Everyone always wanted to see the famous Queen wave. One of the highlights of my year was being involved in the Farm Fest at Onolani Park, mostly because I got to drive my tractor in the tractor parade. I kind of looked out of place being in the presence of all guys in flannels, and I was the only girl and wearing a tiara. Recently, I kept busy visiting the Kempton, Schnecksville, Schuylkill County, and Carbon County fairs. I love being able to visit other fairs and see how the Great Allentown Fair is so unique and special. Last weekend, I attended Night in the Country as Queen and had a stand displaying things I have done this past year as Queen. One of my favorite things I did this past year, and the activity that I think was the most important, was going into schools and providing agricultural education and awareness. I went and visited Northwestern Elementary, where I attended, and went into 4 second-grade classrooms. With each classroom, I planted seeds with them that they could grow and enter into the fair. In my Queen adventures, I ran into some of the kids, and they proudly have told me how big their sunflower or bean plant is. Also, with the help of my mom, we made these quilts. I posed the second graders with 2 questions. If you were a farmer, what would you grow, or what animals would you own? And they each had a square to draw their answers in. These quilts would be displayed at the fair so the kids can come and see their work. Another big highlight of the year was traveling to Hershey and competing for the State Fair Queen in January. It was a humbling and amazing experience getting to meet 58 other fair queens who share the passion of agriculture and their fairs. I was able to become friends with a lot of the girls, and I actually still keep in contact with a few. 2 of the queens attend the same college I go to, and we plan on having queen reunions. Some things I learned as Queen that might be helpful to the next Queen are: never get a flu shot the day before a parade. And if you do, make sure it is not in your waving arm. Another thing I learned was to never bring my father to Queen events.
I don't have a microphone to defend myself.
Normally in parades, I would always be in a convertible, but for the Allentown St. Patrick's Day parade, we ended up having a golf cart. Now my father saw this as a perfect opportunity to show off his MacGyver skills and turn a golf cart into a float. He said he needed a chair, wood, and bungee straps. I knew that combination would not end well. I ended up sitting on top of a chair that was strapped down to a golf cart, and whenever we would stop, my dad and Daryl would hold my feet to make sure I wouldn't fall off to my death. It was quite the sight. There is one very special person that I would like to recognize and remember, and that would be Bill Albert. Bill Albert, who is the Lehigh County Agricultural Society president and a huge supporter of the Fair Queen program and agricultural aspect of the fair, passed away almost a year ago in September. To many, Bill was known as the heart of the Great Allentown Fair. It could always be seen with a smile on his face. Last year, just after I was crowned, I went and visited Bill in the hospital, and boy, did his face light up. Bill's legacy will live on at the Great Allentown Fair, and he will never be forgotten. I would like to say thank you to all my friends and family who were extremely supportive, and thank you for putting up with me for whenever I would pull the Queen card. My year as Queen might be over, but I still plan on using the Queen excuse. Thank you to all my friends who ever lent me dresses and would help me transform from a farm girl into a queen, sometimes within 10 minutes of being in the fields. Although my mom was unable to be here today due to work, I would still like to thank you for being my biggest cheerleader and always pushing me to be the best I can be, and for always encouraging me in my passion of agriculture. Even though I always joked how I couldn't wait till you didn't have to be my chaperone and travel with me to all events, I'm going to miss you as my shadow. Thank you to my dad, who would drop being in the fields to be my chaperone to Fair Queen events, even though it was more like me chaperoning you at times. Thank you to Doris Caney for convincing me to run for Fair Queen and for everything you have done to me. The people involved in the fair started out as strangers, but now are family. Although Terry and Larry are not here due to moving to Florida, I would like to extend a huge thank you to you guys. Thank you, Terry, for being such an amazing Fair Queen coordinator, not only to me, but for the past 5 queens as well. Your hard work and dedication to the Fair Queen program has not gone unnoticed. We will definitely miss you. And since Larry is not here to defend himself or to censor my speech, I can tell the story of how he caused the Slatington parade to start 15 minutes late. Larry must have left the lights on to the convertible as we waited for the parade to start. And just as we were getting ready to start the parade, we realized we had a dead battery. So we had to wait for the police to come and jump-start our vehicle. All the meanwhile holding up the entire parade, since I was the very first person leading the parade. So sorry to anyone who was stuck waiting for that parade. Thank you to Cheryl and Daryl, who have become like family to me now. I hope the next queen picks on you, Daryl, just like I did. And Cheryl, you're going to make a fabulous coordinator, and I'm just a phone call away to help you whenever you need it. And thank you for being my personal photographer for the past year. Some advice I have for the next Fair Queen. Make the most of your year. Do as many things as you possibly can. Step out of your comfort zone. This year, you will meet so many incredible people and do so many things that you will never have the opportunity to do again. I can hands down say this has been the best year of my life. Words can't describe how grateful I am that I had the opportunity to promote the Great Allentown Fair and my passion for agriculture. I hope the next queen will work just as hard to get the awareness of agriculture and the fair to the people. This may be the end of my reign as the queen, but this is just the beginning of my involvement in the Great Allentown Fair. I'm sorry to say, but you can't get rid of me that easily. Thank you.